Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how to create content that converts. Now, when we think about how to create content that converts, our minds like to jump to the keywords we're going to use, the topics we're going to create, how to make sure those topics are unique, how to make sure we're ranking for the keywords we want, what our competitors are doing, what topics they're creating, are those topics performing, what keywords are they ranking for, what keywords are they using, and the list goes on. But there's another strategy that I think we need to consider whenever we're trying to create content that converts. And this strategy is simple, it's basic, and it's well known, but I do think it's often overlooked because we're so focused on thinking of the other strategies that we want to implement to create content that converts. So, the strategy that I am going to propose is not mind-blowing, but again, it's something that you need to be reminded of. And that strategy is to just focus on developing useful content. Now, what is useful content? I'm pretty sure you already know the definition yourself, but to make sure we're on the same page, useful content is content that educates, that informs, that provides, that offers, and that gives value to your target audience. Useful content is content that generates trust, it builds credibility and increases your authority, it builds long-term customer relationships, sales, leads, email subscribers, and the list goes on. So we know the benefits of useful content, and we know that we should be creating useful content if we want that content to lead to conversions. But the next question is, how do we actually create that useful content? Now, in my written blog post, I do walk through the same strategies that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but the written blog post offers a lot more insight and education. This video is just going to briefly explain the strategies that I am going to recommend, but if you're looking for more insight, please check out the written blog post for more education. So with that being said, I'm going to suggest 7 strategies that I use and that my clients use in order to create useful content that converts. Now, the first strategy is not surprising. Establish a goal. Before you can be useful to anyone else, you need to figure out what's going to be useful for you. What is going to drive business results? What is going to help you grow? What is going to help you succeed? Think about what you want your content to actually achieve. Then that will allow you to figure out how you're going to create your content and what type of content you're even going to create. Which leads me to step 2. Once you establish your goal and you know what your content should achieve, your second strategy is to figure out what kind of content actually accomplishes the goal that I have. Now, I see a lot of people make this mistake. They will create a blog post and they think that blog post is immediately going to lead to a product, a customer purchasing their product or service. And that is not always the case. And in fact, I would say that's hardly ever the case. Usually when I read a blog post and it is coming from a brand that I've never heard of before, I don't immediately jump to purchasing their product or service. I usually try to find more information. I look for reviews, I look for testimonials, case studies, the like. I never actually purchase right then and there after I read one blog post from a brand that I've never heard of. So, if you want to actually create content that converts and this content is useful, you need to create content that actually achieves the goal that you have set out. For example, if you want to increase brand awareness, then you need to focus on creating blog posts or social media content because that is going to help attract those web visitors and that is going to help generate your awareness. But if you want to increase more leads, then maybe you need to offer gated resources or an email newsletter, or you need to provide case studies, demos, product trials, whatever it is, anything that is going to help showcase your product and the power of it, or your service, because you could have a service as well. So you need to create content that actually achieves the goal that you have. And this is really going to come down to your marketing funnel or your customer's path to purchase. But once you actually understand that and you know which goal falls within that marketing funnel and what content falls within that marketing funnel and the particular stages of that marketing funnel or path to purchase, then you will be able to adequately figure out, okay, this goal lines up with this content, or this content is really going to help achieve this goal that I have. So again, really focus on creating the right type of content, because I promise you that if you do not, it is really going to hinder your success. So Once you've established your goal and once you've figured out the content that is going to help you achieve that goal, the third thing is easy. Address a need within your content. So this just means that you need to revisit your buyer personas. What are your target audience's dreams, needs, concerns, questions, lifestyle? Figure out what it is that they need from you. Do they have any misconceptions? Do they have any common questions? Do they have any common fears, objections, or worries? What is it that you can actually address in your content so that it resonates well with your target audience? Once you figure that out, this leads us to our fourth strategy, which is to provide a solution. Whatever your content is talking about, whatever the topic is, whether it's addressing a need, a concern, a worry, a fear, a problem, an issue, a misconception, whatever it is, provide a solution. We all hate cliffhangers. I know that I hate getting to the end of a book or the end of anything and there's a cliffhanger. And while I love sitting on the edge of my seat, and I'm pretty sure you all do not leave your customers sitting on the edge of their seats. Offer them a solution in your content, whether it's a blog post, a case study, or a review, anything. Offer a solution, because that is what is going to allow your customer to trust you and really see your insights and your expertise and to be able to get an insight into your credibility. So provide a solution, always. Don't leave them hanging. So we've walked through 4 strategies so far. Establish a goal, create content that achieves that goal, address a need, and provide a solution. Once you have all 4 of those things figured out, the 5th strategy is to dive deep. Whatever type of content you're creating or whatever type of topic you're addressing, make sure to actually dive deep. Give your customers something to walk away with. Make sure that they actually leave your piece of content thinking, I really learned something of value today, or that really added value to my life. The last thing you want your customers to do is to spend time reviewing your content and thinking, well, that sucked, that didn't help me, or that was pretty surface level and vague or ambiguous. You want to give your customers enough information. You want to use this time to really showcase your expertise, your insight, your credibility, your opinions, because that is what's going to lead to that credibility, that trust, and those sales. So make sure that you actually dive deep. Provide multiple resources. You don't have to create static content today. You can utilize videos, audios, podcasts, visuals, infographics, whatever, but make sure just to take the time to really dive deep into whatever topic you're creating or with whatever piece of content that you're creating, because your target audience will thank you for it. Now, that is the 5th strategy. We're gonna move on to the 6th strategy, which is super important, but I don't always see every brand implement it, and that is to include a CTA. Believe it or not, CTAs are not just useful for you because they lead to conversions, but they are also useful to your target audience because you're telling them next steps. You're telling them what to do. Your customers want to know what they should do next. They want to know where they should go, who they should speak to, who they should contact, who they should reach out to with any questions they have, or what resources they should read next, or what phone number they should use. Your customers want to know next steps. They want to know what they should be doing next. And your CTA, while it should be appropriate for that piece of content, let me just put a disclaimer here. Do not use a CTA that's like, oh, check out our product or service, or buy this product or service, and have that at the end of your blog post. Because again, if I'm a first-time web visitor and I've never heard of your brand and I am just now reading a blog post, even if that blog post is great, I don't need a call to action that actually leads me to your product or service, because I don't want to buy your product or service right now. I just want to learn more about you. So maybe a more appropriate call to action would be to sign up for your newsletter. So that way I can stay updated on new announcements, new content, new products, or maybe to download an ebook or white paper with additional information, or maybe to look at a case study that walks through the very strategies that your customers used that were in the same blog post that I was reading. That would be in a more appropriate call to action for my specific stage in my buyer's journey or within your marketing funnel. So include a call to action because it is useful for your target audience, but do make sure, again, that that call to action is appropriate for where your customer is. So once you have a good call to action, once you have a content that establishes a goal, that accurately applies to that goal, that addresses a need, that provides a solution and has that call to action, and that dives deep. That next thing that we want to focus on, and it's the very last strategy, and it's super, super important because all of your hard work will go to waste otherwise, is to promote your content. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, but if you want to create useful content that converts, then actually promote your content. Because your content will not be useful to anyone, including you or your target audience, if no one ever sees it. You can't be useful if you don't get any eyeballs on the content that you've created. So promote your content, use social, use advertising methods, use whatever you need to get the word out about your useful content, because your target audience will not find you useful if they don't know about you, if they don't know about your content, if they don't know about your resources, your case studies, your reviews, your testimonials. Useful content needs to be promoted. If it's not promoted, then it will never be useful to you, me, or anyone else, because how can it be if I've never seen it? So those are the 7 strategies to create useful content that converts. Again, establish a goal, create content that achieves that goal, address a need, provide a solution, dive deep, include a CTA, and promote your content. Those are all the 7 strategies that you need to create useful content. I've been doing it this way. My clients have been doing it the same way with success. And I encourage you to do those strategies as well whenever you're approaching how to create useful content that converts. So please leave a comment below if you felt like this video was helpful, or if you have any more strategies that I should think about or that others can consider whenever they're trying to create useful content. Please make sure to leave a comment with that strategy below, because I would love to get any more strategies that I can use and that my clients can use to create useful content that converts. All right, bye guys, thank you.